Now, there are different components that we kind of thought about in this one that in order to make it more comprehensive. You start like any course, you start by, because this is like the topics are customized and selected by each student, they may need some kind of guidance. What course am I going to select and what modules should I register for? So we're creating a recommender system. I mean, we called it, in this paper, we called it Budweiser. And at this point, later on, if I'm being, we'll talk a little bit about that. So this is a recommender system that can provide, it's an AI-based recommender system that can provide students with some guidance as to what modules to select based on first their own courses, the courses that they took, their own major, background, etc., characteristics, and then in addition to that, what other people selected in the past. And we're trying to introduce as well a new way of a new line, which is based on the skill set required by the future employers. So, for example, we know like accounting firms are looking for people who know a little bit about data analytics, who know a little bit about AI, RPA, etc. So we're introducing those as well as part of the selection. Once the course is built using, by the way, and there is no learning management system like Blackboard or Canvas, etc., that can handle this form of courses, because keep in mind, while all of us might be registered for the same 1 credit course, each one of us has a different set of modules. So the assessments for each one of us will be different. And this is, so the content that is being offered. So for example, let's say that Theo, Miklos, and myself are registered for the same course, okay? So BYOC. Theo might select, for instance, RPA, process mining, visualization, dashboards, and say cybersecurity. Miklos can select, let's say that AI, basics of AI, cluster analysis, text mining, RPA, and process mining. I can select a different topic. So we are all registered for the same course, but the content is very different. So that's what's challenging. How am I going to offer each student the content that they select? And how am I going to test each student on that content? We tried doing something like that in Canvas, for example. You would have to put something that says, for those who selected visualization, for those who selected process mining, and that's not really practical. So we had to create our own in-house learning management system. We called it Swarm. And so this is how we deliver the content, and we, as well as the assessments are done there. They are automated, so the students can take, they watch the videos, they learn the material, and then they take the assessment. Now, Lena is a learning analyzer. Basically, this is an AI-based dashboard for like to predict the performance of the students. So the students have one, and the students have one, and the faculty have a different one. We are also considering that in the future, especially given the enrollment. So let me give you an idea. The first semester that this was offered, it was spring 2021, and I'm talking about at the undergraduate level, because Kelly had done that before for a graduate course, an audit analytics graduate course. The number of students was different. Originally, when we piloted the BYOC at the undergraduate level, we expected to have like, we had 6 courses, and we expected to have them like all like one pool, to have like 25 students, 25 students. We actually ended up having 10 times that. Like we had close to 200 students. That was very surprising and overwhelming, because the first system that we had was a beta version, and it was not really good. In fact, in that it couldn't handle all these people. And a lot of work had to be done by the instructor. That was like, I had to actually reach out to students and talk to them, etc. So we thought that eventually we need to have some kind of chat bot that would take previous or prior questions into consideration, have some kind of like frequently asked questions. And it's like the chat bots when you go somewhere. If the question has been asked before, they will provide the students with an immediate answer. If not, it will create a ticket and send it to the instructor or to the TA for to be answered. And then that answer goes into the answer banks.
Yeah, I
Now,
remember the first time that the first time we did that. Oh my God. There were system errors and people had to like reach out to the professor.
I know that I know I had to, they used to reach out to me because at a certain point it would like they lose all their progress, so we would have to kind of find, okay, so they would tell you like, okay, I did the test but I getting wrong answer or wrong grades, or I lost all my progress, so they would have to redo it, etc., and that was not good. And later on, so based on the feedback that we got from the students that they didn't like this or they prefer to have this or that, etc., and our own feedback as instructors and people who had to deal with the system and with the students, we actually, our own PhD student, Chingman, she did an amazing job and she created what we call SWAM 2.0. So a whole new learning management system. Hopefully, again, she will be able to demonstrate it a little bit later on.
Professor, you
And
probably should mention that another benefit of SWAM is that the you don't have to take it with at the start of the semester and it
yeah,
finishes at the end. It's much more
it
flexible.
doesn't have to be. It's a lot more flexible, and this is why we used to allow students to actually register for it at any time and over the semester. We just remind them that they have to do it. But I had so many students who would register for it, but they don't do anything with it. They procrastinate all the way until the end of the semester. Last week of the semester, last weekend, they actually finish the whole thing and they pass. It's not so basically that's one of the advantages. However, that's kind of it's actually led to its popularity in that it's flexible. They can do that anytime they want.